Let's have a look at converting lengths from say meter, centimeter or millimeter to any one of this. So what we need to know is a meter. That's the basic unit that we use. We measure human height, say a cricket bat or something of our size, we use meter. Centimeter are used to measure things like finger width or button or things like that. Millimeter, maybe a coin thickness, grain of rice, and length of an ant. So all of those are your millimeter measurement. So I have a centimeter scale over here, but you can see the ants, they're so small. So it's not in even a centimeter. So in this case, what should we do? Yes, we can use millimeter. Okay. So we can use millimeter, right? This is a centimeter scale. So you can see this ant is not even a centimeter. So in this case, we have to use a millimeter. We have done all of this in a very detailed manner, but still I want to show it to you guys again and again, because this is something that you will use a lot of time. So if this is a meter, if I divide it in 10 equal parts, that is a decimeter. If I divide it into 10 more equal parts, that's a centimeter. So each of this distance, let me zoom in. So now we are looking at 10 centimeter length. Further, if I divide it into 10 more parts, this would be, each of this length will be 1 millimeter. Okay. So that is again one thing that you need to keep in mind. A meter is 100 times of a centimeter and 1000 times of a millimeter. Don't worry, we'll learn this, but this is something that you guys need to know. So you can use something called as rule of 10 while you do the question. It's same thing as what we learned, that is using the principle, right? So principle of conversion, what I just taught in the previous set of videos, the same thing we are using. So when we're going down to a smaller unit, we multiply with 10 for each step. What does that mean? See, we have meter over here. Let me go back to this. So we have a meter over here, right? So this is, okay, let me remove this. This say is a meter. If I divide it into 10 equal parts, so each of this part is a decimeter. So what I have written over here is that, so meter gets converted in decimeter on dividing with 10. So if I'm going one step, if I'm taking step down, each of this length is reducing by a factor of 10. So this is 1 decimeter. Further, if I divide it into 10 equal parts, this length is 1 centimeter, and that's what I have written over here. And if I divide a centimeter into 10 equal parts, each of this length is a millimeter. Okay guys, that's what I've written over here. This is a meter, decimeter. So let me make a note over here. Decimeter. Then we have, just a second, let me change the color. Actually, it's okay. I can just go with this. Centimeter. Okay. And when we have mm, that is your millimeter. Okay, guys, that's what I've written over here. Oh, it's actually here itself. I didn't see that. So now, if I am converting a meter value to a decimeter value, I need to multiply with 10. So anything, every step I go down, I need to multiply with 10. If I'm trying to come up, I need to divide with 10. So going down has to do with what? From bigger to smaller. So going down is to do with bigger to smaller. Going up is smaller to bigger. Remember this. So when you're going down, you need to multiply with 10 for each step. What does the step mean? So if you're moving from meter to decimeter, it's one step. Meter to centimeter, it is 1, 2 step. Meter to millimeter, it is 1, 2, 3 step. Okay. So I'll give you a set of examples over here. Actually, this is I'm not happy with this. Let me rewrite this. So we have meter, decimeter, centimeter, and millimeter. This would be easier for us to go with decimeter and meter. Okay, now it's proper. So example over here, 1 meter is how many centimeter is the question, for example. So we know that meter is higher. So we have 1, 2 steps, and since this is higher, I need to multiply. So this is basically 10 into 10 centimeter, that is 100 centimeter. Similarly, we have other questions as well. So I'll teach you guys a few tricks similar to the last thing that we did, that is rupees to paise and all of that, right? So we are looking at how many centimeter is 3 meters. 3 meters is got how many centimeter? So we know that 1 meter is 100 centimeter, right? Because we are looking at how many steps? 2 steps, 1 and 2. And since we are moving from higher to bigger to smaller, we need to multiply 2 times with 10. So this is 100 centimeter. So I'm going to rewrite 3 meters as 3 into 1 meter. But we know that 1 meter is 100 centimeter. And so 3 into 100 is 300 centimeter. That's that, as simple as that. Okay. So let me take up one more example. So let me do this actually. So we have 2 centimeter is equal to how many meters? Remember, 2 centimeter is a smaller value. Let me show 2 centimeter for you guys. So if this entire thing is a meter, this 2 things makes up 2 centimeters. So this 2 width makes up 2 centimeter. So meter is pretty huge, right? So we are moving from, yes, the first is we'll recognize that we're moving from smaller to bigger, and so we will divide. Now question is how much division? So for that, let's look at it. This is meter, and then decimeter, and then centimeter. So we have 1 and 2 steps, right? 2 steps. So 2 steps means divided by 10 into 10, that is 100. So 2 centimeter, or let me write this as 1 centimeter is equal to 1 by 10 into 10 meters. That is 1 by 100 centimeter. This is the amount of thinking that you need to do before you can write anything. So this part is the thinking part. So this you need not write it in an exam. So let me not put it here and put it here. This is for understanding purpose. So every question, if you think in this way till you get comfortable, that will be helpful. Okay, coming back. Because 1 centimeter is 1 by 100, when this is not needed actually. All of this you guys can just put it in your mind, So now just learn it. So this is the amount of learning you have to do. So what to write in exam? Okay. Because 1 centimeter is 1 by 100 meters. What we're looking at is 2 centimeter is equal to 2 into 1 centimeter. I can always write 2 into 1 as 2. Now, 2 into 1 centimeter is 1 by 100 meter. So this is basically 2 by 100 meter, right? So 2 into 1 is 2, and in the denominator we have 100. Because there is 2 zeros, so what should you do? It should reduce. That is, the decimal place should move left. So we should move left. So let me put few zeros and write 2. The decimal place is over here, 1 and 2. So this is 0.02 from here till here. Right? And so this is 0.02. Don't forget to write the unit, meter. Again, to be honest, all of this step is, can be skipped in time. But since this is the first time you guys are you're learning all of this or getting exposed to all of this, it's better that you take these long steps. Just write it. Get used to it. Now, whenever you're going down, we need to divide. Sorry, going up, we need to divide. Right? That's what we learned over here as well. Divide. Divide with what? Divide with 10 or 100 or 1000 depending on the units. So 100 centimeter is 1 meter and 400 centimeter is so on and so forth, right? I took up a question which is 2 centimeter. Okay, there is no 2 centimeter, but you get the funda. So whenever you're going up, you divide. Whenever you're coming down, you multiply. And with what value? 10. But is it 10 all the time? No, it depends on the step that we are going with. If the number of steps, say over here, is 1, 2, then you multiply with 100. If the number of step is just 1, then multiply with 10. If it's 1, 2, 3, then multiply with 1000. Same thing with division. Divide with 10, divide with 100, or if you're going this way, divide with 1000. So we'll do quite a few set of questions for us to practice. You can pause and write this off.